64 brand new $10 billion F-35A stealth fighters bought by Finland from the United States could be rendered completely useless in the opening 15 minutes of a conflict. Helsinki has entered a geopolitical death trap where its multi-billion-dollar air defense investments are exposed to a precision-guided saturation strike from across the border. If the main runways are benched by a barrage of tactical ballistic missiles, these advanced fifth-generation assets will be trapped in their concrete shelters, completely defenseless and unable to claim air superiority. Why would one of the most affluent and highly prepared nations in Europe, boasting the largest artillery force in the West, remain completely vulnerable unless they acquire a specific short takeoff and vertical landing variant designed for the United States Marines? The strategic paradox of the Finnish Air Force lies in its technological upgrade. While the older FA-18 Hornet fleet excelled at road base operations by operating from tight highway strips deep in the Nordic forests, the standard F-35A requires immaculate, extended runways and massive computerized logistics support. In a crisis, the adversary will not fight Finland in the sky. They will simply delete the static runway coordinates already locked into their satellite targeting systems. This critical gap leaves the entire Finnish strategy exposed, as no amount of interceptor missiles can save an air force that cannot take off. To survive, Helsinki desperately needs the unique mechanical propulsion of the F-35B, utilizing a specialized lift fan system that allows it to vanish into the tree lines and launch from random 200-meter stretches of asphalt. Before we go on, do you think this transition to the F-35 is a genius survival move or a massive strategic mistake for Finland? Hit subscribe to join our defense community and tell me where you are watching from. The strategic paradox deepens when examining the massive arsenal Finland already possesses. This is a nation that has spent decades preparing for total territorial defense, amassing more artillery barrels than Germany and France combined, and maintaining a highly trained conscript army. Yet, this formidable defensive wall becomes entirely vulnerable when faced with modern long-range precision warfare. Helsinki recently integrated the highly capable David's Sling air defense system from Israel to counter high-altitude threats, alongside upgraded American Patriot missile batteries. However, a dark geopolitical reality remains on the battlefield. No air defense umbrella is completely impenetrable against a coordinated mass saturation strike utilizing hundreds of low-flying cruise missiles and hypersonic weapons simultaneously. This creates the critical gap that conventional military thinking fails to recognize. The traditional Finnish doctrine of road base operations, which successfully utilized the rugged FA-18 Hornet on secondary highways, is fundamentally broken by the logistics of the F-35A. This fifth-generation stealth aircraft requires specialized climate-controlled shelters, massive digital diagnostic servers, and pristine runway surfaces completely free of debris to prevent engine destruction. By tethering their primary retaliatory power to these fixed, ultra-high-tech hubs, the Finnish High Command has accidentally provided the adversary with a concentrated target list. A single missile breakthrough that craters the main runway does not just damage concrete. It renders a multi-billion-dollar fleet of advanced aircraft completely useless on the ground. This irony shatters the illusion of safety. Finland has acquired the most advanced strike fighter in the world, yet its inability to operate without vulnerable, fixed infrastructure leaves the entire country exposed. The transition from a rugged, decentralized force to a sophisticated but delicate network has created an existential vulnerability that conventional weapons cannot fix. To break this paralysis, and restore full deterrence, Finland desperately requires the unique operational flexibility of the F-35B short takeoff and vertical landing variant. This specific aircraft is the only technical solution capable of patching the critical gap exposed by traditional, fragile runways. At the heart of the F-35B is a revolutionary propulsion system featuring a Rolls-Royce lift fan integrated directly behind the cockpit, coupled with a vectoring main engine nozzle that can pivot down 95 degrees. This mechanical marvel generates over 40,000 pounds of vertical thrust, allowing the fighter to accelerate over a mere 180 meters of asphalt and land completely vertically like a helicopter. By stripping away the requirement for a traditional long runway, this aircraft transforms from a delicate asset into an unpredictable ghost. For Finland, the F-35B represents the ultimate survival tool on a high-threat battlefield. Instead of being concentrated at massive, well-mapped airfields that are completely defenseless against ballistic missile barrages, these aircraft can be hidden under the dense canopy of the Nordic forests. A small clearing, a minor intersection, or a reinforced segment of rural road becomes a fully functional launch pad. Armed with long-range stealth weapons like the Joint Air-to-Surface Standoff Missile Extended Range, a hidden fleet of F-35B fighters would hold adversarial command centers and logistics hubs at risk from entirely unknown locations. It completely breaks the strategic calculation of the opponent. No matter how many ballistic missiles are fired at major air bases, the retaliatory strike capability of the Finnish Air Force remains entirely intact. The F-35B turns the entire geography of the country into a decentralized, unmappable airfield, shifting the balance of power back to the defender and ensuring that air power never becomes useless. Yet, despite this profound operational necessity, Finland remains chained to its original order of 64 conventional F-35A models. The final layer of this strategic paradox is defined by brutal industrial and financial limitations. Acquiring the F-35B demands a massive premium, with each unit costing roughly 30% more than the standard variant, alongside a highly punishing maintenance budget that would severely shrink the total size of the Finnish fleet. Furthermore, the global production lines managed by Lockheed Martin are heavily backlogged, prioritizing the United States Marines, Great Britain, and Japan, leaving a non-carrier nation like Finland at the absolute bottom of the waiting list. This creates a hidden layer of defensive compromise, where Helsinki is forced to rely on cross-servicing agreements, quietly preparing austere forest refueling points in hopes that allied American or British F-35B squadrons will rapidly deploy to plug the gap during a crisis. This reality brings us to a critical crossroad in modern military doctrine. The core lesson here is that sheer technological sophistication can inadvertently create its own fatal weakness if it is not matched by logistical resilience. By purchasing the highly capable but fragile F-35A, Finland has achieved unprecedented electronic and stealth supremacy, but it has simultaneously exposed its entire air strategy to a single point of failure on the ground. It is an enduring reminder that in total warfare, survival always trumps theoretical performance. Was this massive multi-billion-dollar transition to the conventional F-35A a genius survival move that will successfully deter aggression through sheer high-tech dominance? Or was it the biggest strategic mistake in the history of Finland by creating a concentrated target list for the adversary? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and do not forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth defense analysis. See you next time.